All right, heading into customs today, and instead of just playing the usual units, the same old stuff that you always feel like you have to take to survive in customs, we're doing something a little bit different. We're playing a remixed version of Golden Pack. So I don't remember when I initially saw this. I've definitely seen someone else do this before. Let me know in the comments if you recognize this. But all you do is you take a standard pack and you replace some of the units with pets from other packs. So here we've got Barghest. And I think I roughly replaced, 2 per tier. I think probably I put more tier 6s in than the other tiers. But actually Golden Pack is one of the packs that has not been conformed to 10 pets per tier. So it's a little bit awkward anyway. There's only 9 tier 1s. And I think tiers 3, 4 and 5 all have 11 pets. So you actually do end up cutting more units out than you would if you were doing one of the other standard packs. But it's still a fun exercise, and I think, if you go into Golden Arena, there probably are pets that you never buy. Everyone has their own favorites and biases, so there will be units that are just kind of taking up space, and you never actually purchase them. So why not give the pack a try by replacing those units that you never buy with ones that you are interested in. So here, we've got a couple of the Unicorn tier 1s with Sneaky Egg and Barghest. I think Sneaky Egg makes sense for Golden because you could play it with Muskox and just get the automatic feint at the start of battle. So kind of like taking the place of Tatzelworm and Minotaur in Unicorn. I've also changed some of the foods. I think most of the time I kept the foods the same. But again, Golden Pack has got only 2 tier 2 foods. So there are some changes that you do have to make in order to actually create a valid custom pack. So we grabbed Flycatcher here, one of my favorite units from Golden. So there was no way I was going to cut it. And I think, we're not having the greatest start here. Lizard is a pretty solid unit, but it can only do so much. Dolphin is such a common take now in customs. You see it all the time. Now, Betta Fish is a custom staple, but I deliberately did not put Pill in. I think not having Pill is one of the calling cards of Golden Pack, and so it didn't feel right adding it in. And we will keep Betta Fish in there though, because it still makes sense with a variety of units in Golden Pack. I'm not sure if at this stage I decided exactly the lineup I wanted to go for. Probably not. I would imagine I probably did the same thing I normally do, where I don't spend a huge amount of time deciding on the contents of the pack. I just tend to start playing immediately. So I'm sure there are better substitutions I could make. Actually, there you can see we had a tree on tier 3, and that's going to work pretty well with Betta Fish, but probably on turn 7, we're past the point of no return for that particular combo. So we end up getting Dart Frog level 2 from the Stoat, and I think we'll go for Pineapple on it. With the Lizard, we only get 1 feint in front of the Dart Frog, unfortunately. Actually, I guess on the second Lizard tail, you would get a second snipe. But with a 2-2 stat line, we're pretty likely to lose the Dart Frog anyway, I think. Although thankfully here, the Mana Snipe doesn't hit it. So maybe we are going to get 2 snipes here. Yeah, we will. I think when I'm going for these kinds of things, I tend not to play like the more obvious pairings. Dart Frog clearly, Slug is in Golden Pack. That would make the most sense to take it. But instead, I think we end up going for something different here. I probably should have frozen the banana because we could put that on Macaque and then guarantee 2 Dart Frog snipes. This team's actually going to delete their own giraffe with the leveled up hedgehog, and we get the win. And then we get this double Macaque in the shop, which pretty nice turn 9. And I did say that you can definitely compete in customs with some of these packs, but it does help when you get those nice high rolls. And Red Dragon is another one that I like quite a lot. I think probably in customs it's doesn't make all that much sense, but given that I was making this with the intention of potentially playing a versus lobby where everyone would be using the same pack. I felt like Red Dragon would make sense, trying to deal with those units at the back of the opposing team like Secretary Bird and so on, which, Eggplant doesn't exist in the pack anymore, and I didn't really want to just replace it. So Red Dragon was there as a potential counter to those pets that kind of feel a bit untouchable at this stage in Golden Pack when you just give them potato. So we buy, sell, and end up getting Blue Ringed Octopus, which doesn't do us any good. I think we'll just keep it for one turn though. And maybe I'm going to end up taking the Red Dragon just to try and get a unit into the team that is not a standard Golden Pack unit. Because at the moment we're just running a Golden Pack team. Although it's not the most optimal, it is just all Golden Pack units. So Flycatcher gets to do some actual sniping here, which is nice. And again, we win. Now, I did have a bunch of attempts at this. I had a few other runs where I was really trying to make sure that I had as many of the alternate units as possible in the team. Probably didn't make a lot of sense because I guess what's the point of remixing a pack if you're not going to be prepared to use the units that actually came with the pack in the first place? It should just be a crossover, not a complete replacement. And here's one of the dedicated Elephant Blowfish players. So I think we're probably going to lose here, definitely. There's a couple of people still playing this combo every day. We actually get the level 3 macaque, or maybe we'll go for a dragon instead. Now I had Amalgamation in as well, and I really wanted to have some sort of summon build going where, the mana is going to the units in front of the Dart Frog, and then double sniping when the unit faints. But it just didn't pan out. Maybe I'll show a clip from that at the end. I did have a few comical failed runs. But Dart Frog eliminates the Brain Cramp here, and we get a 1 HP win, which is quite nice. I think with Flycatcher, you could also probably justify just putting the obvious partner pets in there, like Rat, what else? I guess Kappa as well. Although I don't think Flycatcher really does enough damage for it to be relevant with Kappa. Bear, I suppose, is another one. And actually, I think at some point SAG has suggested that Bear should actually be in Golden Pack anyway. So that would be something interesting to see in the future. And although this looked like an instant loss to this level 3 Hatch and Chick team, it ends up being a tie, which is pretty surprising given that half our units got wiped at the start of battle. So we take the level up on both the Macaque and the Dart Frog, and then give the Dart Frog a little bit of assistance to try and make sure it doesn't get knocked out again. Summon team, they are running Amalgamation, but they're going to lose both Amalgamation and the Turkey because of the Flycatcher. Because of the Red Dragon. And then Flycatcher gets to go wild here on the summons from the Sabertooth and the Easter Egg. So that puts us on 9, and we still have 2 hearts, which is pretty surprising given how fragile our team looks at this stage of the game. We freeze up another dragon because we might end up with a full level 3 squad. But we end up facing this 3 squad with almost 50-50 fish on turn 15. Such a weird looking team. And actually the Dart Frog snipes are going to result in the fish being completely deleted before the Skeleton Dog can give it any buffs. So recognisably still a Golden Pack team, but just with a little bit of extra custom pack flavour. Now here's the run I mentioned where things went a bit wrong. We are on 9 wins on turn 14, but I've kind of got into this position where my summon team with Flying Fish and Amalgamation doesn't really work because we hardly have any summons at all. And because of the Abomination, we actually have to be careful of how we freeze things in the shop. So in the end, we swallowed 2 Red Dragons and another Amalgamation, which doesn't do a whole lot for our summon team. Although I think here it works out perfectly that they have some weak units at the back. We lose the banana due to the weakness, so the Nightcrawler hardly gets any summons at all that turn. I think it was only the buy cells. And somehow we scrape a draw, which probably should never be happening given how disjointed our team is. Now there is an Nyala shop, but actually, although it's a summoning unit, it doesn't really help us all that much because the Retriever can't come in before the Nightcrawler summons, and then either the Flying Fish or the Amalgamation would be unable to buff it because they both only have 2 triggers. So probably I should have thought a bit more about the build I was going to go for here rather than just buying all the new units and hoping that they were going to work together. Probably here on the last turn I should just be buy-selling everything in order to give the Nightcrawler as many triggers as possible. But instead we end up taking a second Nightcrawler at the front, and then we're just going to let the Abomination swallow double Flying Fish and the Cockatrice, and hope that somehow we end up disrupting their team to the point where only having a couple of summons actually helps us. And actually this is not too bad. It would have been nice if we still had the 2 red dragons inside the Abomination because we would have instant deleted the Turkey and the Parrot. But in the end, they're just going to have too many summons here, and they also have Pepper on the Parrot at the back. So let me know in the comments how you would go about remixing one of the standard packs. And feel free to post a pack code along with your reasoning for the changes. You can do that in the comments or even in Discord. And maybe at some point I'll try this again with one of these submissions.